A tsunami wave towering 600 meters high. It sounds unbelievable, yet such a wave actually occurred in history. In a split second, thousands of trees on the mountainside were uprooted, and the entire landscape was transformed before one's eyes. This event took place in Alaska's Lituya Bay and remains the highest tsunami wave ever recorded in history. But the question arises, how can an ocean wave reach such heights? And if this was indeed the tallest tsunami in history, what other tsunamis have most profoundly shaken human civilization? In today's video, we will explore some of history's most terrifying tsunami waves. Events where coastal maps were redrawn in mere minutes, entire settlements were obliterated, and history bore witness to just how helpless humanity is in the face of nature's power. Before we list history's most devastating tsunamis, it is important to understand one thing. Not all tsunamis are created in the same way. Typically, a powerful undersea earthquake causes a massive displacement of water. This displaced water then surges across hundreds or even thousands of kilometers to form a tsunami. However, there is another type known as a mega tsunami. These are not always linked to earthquakes. Instead, they can be triggered by massive landslides, the sudden collapse of a mountainside into the water, or the calving of a colossal iceberg into the sea, events that displace vast amounts of water instantly. Yet one event in Earth's history did more than just create a mega tsunami. It altered the global environment entirely. About 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid, estimated to be between 11 and 81 kilometers in diameter, crashed into Earth. It struck the region of the present-day Yucatan Peninsula, leaving behind the massive Chicxulub crater that exists to this day. The impact was so powerful that, according to scientific research, it generated a mega tsunami exceeding 100 meters in height. This colossal wave surged outward at incredible speed. Some studies suggest its impact reached deep into the interior of North America. The most devastating aspect of this event was not merely the tsunami. The asteroid impact also released vast quantities of dust and gas into the atmosphere. Sunlight was obstructed for an extended period, triggering profound changes in Earth's climate. Consequently, countless species, including the dinosaurs, went extinct. Thus, this event not only unleashed one of history's most powerful megatsunamis, but also altered the course of life on Earth. Next, we turn to the year 1792 and Japan's Mount Unzen. Japan is among the most geologically active nations on Earth, situated at the junction of three tectonic plates and forming part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. It hosts numerous active volcanoes. One such volcano is Mount Unzen, located near the city of Shimabara in the Nagasaki Prefecture on the island of Kyushu. After remaining dormant for centuries, it became active again in 1990. The following year, in 1991, a pyroclastic flow resulting from its eruption claimed 43 lives. However, the volcano is best known for the catastrophic disaster of 1792. At that time, the region was experiencing a series of earthquakes. Suddenly, a lava dome on the volcano collapsed into the sea, generating a powerful mega tsunami. This tsunami claimed over 14,000 lives, remaining the deadliest volcano-related disaster in Japanese history to this day. A peculiar feature of the event was that the tsunami waves first crossed the Ariake Sea to strike Higo Province on the opposite shore. The waves then reflected back, striking the Shimabara region a second time. This secondary impact caused a further surge in destruction and loss of life. Researchers estimate the wave reached a maximum height of approximately 100 meters, allowing it to surge far inland beyond the coast and obliterate almost everything in its path. Finally, there is the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens in the United States. The 1980 eruption here is known as one of the most powerful volcanic explosions in history. During the eruption, a massive section of the volcano's northern flank collapsed, an event considered one of the largest terrestrial landslides in history. As this immense volume of rock and soil crashed into the underlying Spirit Lake, it triggered a massive tsunami. The wave reached a height of approximately 260 meters, surging across the lake, uprooting countless trees and destroying everything in its path. However, the flow of superheated ash and gas erupting from the volcano ultimately surpassed even this water wave. The mixture of water, ash, and soil created a colossal mudflow that choked the rivers and left the entire area in ruins for a prolonged period. Although Spirit Lake eventually began to recover, it took more than 2 decades to return to its former state. Thirdly, the Vajont Dam incident of 1963. The Spirit Lake event demonstrated that tsunamis can occur not only in the ocean, but also in inland lakes or reservoirs. One of the most catastrophic instances of such an inland tsunami took place in Italy. Located about 100 kilometers north of Venice, the Vajont Dam was constructed for hydroelectric power generation. However, even before construction began, experts had warned that Mount Toc, situated beside the dam, was unstable. During the dam's construction, local residents repeatedly observed minor earthquakes and landslides, yet these warnings were disregarded. Later, a decision was made to lower the reservoir's water level to mitigate risk. Ironically, this very decision exacerbated the danger. On October 9, 1963, a massive section of the mountain collapsed into the reservoir, carrying rock, soil, and vegetation with it. In an instant, a colossal wave, rising approximately 250 meters, was generated and surged over the dam. The torrent of water then rushed toward the valley below, completely destroying village after village in its path. Approximately 2,000 people lost their lives in this disaster. In some valley villages, nearly 80% of the residents perished, and 350 families were completely wiped out. Subsequent investigations revealed that heavy rainfall and the rapid lowering of the reservoir's water level had destabilized the slopes of Mount Toc. This triggered a massive landslide, which in turn spawned one of history's most terrifying inland tsunamis. Finally, we come to the highest tsunami in recorded history, the one that struck Lituya Bay, Alaska, in 1958. The tsunamis discussed so far were already of incredible height, but the question remains, can a tsunami wave reach heights of several hundred meters or even exceed half a kilometer? The answer was provided on July 9, 1958, in the quiet, remote Lituya Bay of Alaska. That day, a powerful earthquake caused roughly 30 million cubic meters of rock and soil to collapse into Gilbert Inlet from a height of nearly 900 meters. In an instant, the displacement of this vast volume of water created the highest tsunami wave in history. The wave reached an astonishing peak height of approximately 600 meters. It surged so high that it swept up the mountain slopes bordering the bay, uprooting nearly all vegetation in its path. Millions of trees were washed away in moments, leaving scars on the mountainside that remain visible to this day. The most surprising fact is that only 5 people lost their lives in such a massive tsunami. This was because the Lituya Bay area is extremely sparsely populated. Had the same event occurred along a densely populated coastline, the devastation would have been beyond imagination. This incident demonstrates that not only undersea earthquakes, but also massive landslides can trigger some of the most terrifying tsunamis in Earth's history. Such events also serve as a constant reminder of how helpless humans are in the face of nature's power. In your opinion, which is nature's most terrifying force? Tsunamis, earthquakes, or volcanic eruptions? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. See you in the next episode. Thank you.